Friends, let us discuss very colorful phenomenon that is the interference of light. It is nothing but modification in the intensity of light produced by the superposition of two or more light waves. In other words, we can say that it is the redistribution of energy produced by superposition of two or more light waves. It is nothing but interference of light. Appearance of colors in the soap bubble. Colors in a thin oil film on water surface. These are the certain examples of interference of light. Let us study what is meant by principle of superposition of a wave. Imagine in the medium there are two sources of light. Source S1 and S2. They emit light in this direction. If first wave propagated in this direction, the second wave is also propagated in this direction. At the point P, both these waves overlap. What will happen at that point? At point P, there will be either addition or the subtraction of displacement produced. What is the resultant displacement? Resultant displacement will be the vector sum of displacements produced by individual waves such that the present alone. Here, look at. If y1 and y2, these are nothing but wave equations for the particular light waves, then the resultant displacement will be the vector sum of instantaneous displacements produced by the individual waves at that point such that the present alone. And this is the principle of superposition of a wave. Look at the point P. At this point P, crest due to the first wave coincides with the crest due to other. Crest due to first coincides with the crest due to other, we get that maximum intensity point. Also, when trough due to the first wave coincides with the trough due to other, at that time we get maximum intensity point. Both waves are in a phase. This is the condition. While at the point P, if a crest due to first wave coincides with the trough due to other, then we get minimum intensity point. At that point, waves out of phase. There are two types of interference. Constructive or destructive interference. When crest due to first wave coincides with the crest due to other, or the trough due to the first wave coincides with the trough due to other, there is an addition of displacements. We get maximum intensity point is bright point. We say that both waves are in a phase. Look at this diagram. This crest due to first coincides with the crest due to other. We get resultant displacement, certain intensity. When trough coincides, we get resultant displacement, maximum intensity. For the destructive interference, when crest due to first wave coincides with the trough due to other, there is displacement 0. That displacement becomes 0. We get minimum intensity. That means that point will be dark point. We say that both waves out of phase. Look at this diagram. Crest due to the first coincides with the trough due to other, or the trough due to first coincides with the crest due to other. This is destructive interference. Friends, we know interference. Imagine a point which is placed in a space. At this space, number of light waves from the multiple sources they arrive. At that point, we should be able to see interference. But we can't get interference at that point because there is a certain frequency difference or the phase difference between these light waves. And that's why this interference pattern changes at every instant of time. We can't see interference, there is no any interference pattern sustained over significant length of time. We can't see any interference pattern at that point. To obtain steady interference pattern, there is a condition to the sources. Look at this diagram. Here in this diagram, suppose S1 and S2 are the two sources. they sending out waves in this direction. At the point P, both these waves overlap. These are nothing but wave equations. In this wave equation, this A1, A2, they are nothing but amplitudes for the respective waves. Omega is nothing but angular frequency. K is nothing but wave vector. It is related to the wavelength. If the frequency of these waves remains same, obviously wavelength and speed also. If a phase difference is constant, then and then we can see the interference pattern, steady interference pattern at point P. At that time, we can say that S1 and S2 are two coherent sources. These two coherent sources, they can obtain from one and the same original source. In other words, we can say that S1 and S2 are nothing but secondary sources. They obtain from one and the same primary source. And that's why this S1 and S2 can produce the waves of same frequency and constant phase difference. Here is two sources which emit light waves of the same frequency having constant phase difference independent of time are called coherent sources. Friends, let us discuss Young's double slit experiment, YDSE. It is very important experiment to get coherent sources and to obtain steady interference pattern. Let us study Young's double slit experiment. Here in this experiment, one convex lens is kept. One source is placed at the focus point of this convex lens. We know that when any point source which is placed at principal focus of the convex lens, that time that source of light gives us plane wavefront. Here in this side we get plane wavefronts. These are nothing but rays and here are plane wavefronts. These are plane wavefronts, they incident over another opaque screen, the screen AB. It consisting of two narrow slits. Actually, this diagram is nothing but upper view, topmost view. Here is nothing but one screen and we have to see this diagram from this upper side. Here is the topmost view. Imagine S1 and S2 are nothing but two slits. They are parallel. When plane wave fronts they incident over this S1 and S2, that time these slits they act as secondary sources. S1 and S2 are nothing but linear sources. According to the Huygens principle, every point on this wavefront acts as secondary source sending out secondary waves in the forward direction. We get here cylindrical wavefronts on the other side of the screen because these S1 and S2 are nothing but linear sources. They produce cylindrical wavefronts. When these cylindrical wavefronts emitted from S1 and S2, they overlap. Here are nothing but the waves from the S1 and the S2, they overlap. Here let me draw crest with this color and the trough with this blue color. Imagine from the topmost view, this wave is like this. Here is the crest, trough, then crest, trough, crest, trough, crest, trough in this way. When crest due to the first source coincides with the crest due to the second source, that time we get constructive interference. Again, when trough due to the first source coincides with the trough due to other source, that time also we get constructive interference. And when crest due to the one coincides with the trough due to other, or the trough due to the one coincides with the crest due to other, that time we get destructive interference. Here are the points at which we get maximum intensity. Due to this constructive interference, we get maximum intensity. And due to this destructive interference, we get minimum intensity. Over the screen, we get interference pattern. That is screen consisting of a central bright fringe and then alternate dark and bright fringes. They were obtained over the screen. Interference pattern consisting of alternate bright, dark fringes. And this is nothing but steady interference pattern. This Young's double slit experiment, it was the first experiment to demonstrate interference of light in 1801. By using this experiment, we can determine wavelength of monochromatic source of light. By using this Young's double slit experiment, we can produce two coherent sources. This is about YDSP.